Blacklist Hunter here, and today we're going to talk about Shoot McMahon and why he is truly underrated. I've seen some of you say, are all characters in Hunter x Hunter underrated since you name all the videos like this? Yes, 100% without a doubt. Shoot is a beast hunter and the student of the great sea hunter Morel Macarnacy. We saw what level of a hunter Morel is, but even Shoot proved himself to be quite worthy in battle, even though at first we thought he was just another wimp. We know that after Gon and Killua encountered P2 and then ran to the border of NGL, Killua met Netero and the old beast gave them one last chance, and that was to take down the two other assassins that he had sent to the nearby city by taking their shogi tiles. So Gon and Killua were training with Knuckle and improving day by day, and Shoot realized that Knuckle had already started to admire these talented kids, and what he wanted to do is ambush them before Knuckle revealed his presence. So basically Shoot wanted to deal with them, defeat them in battle and take their shogi tiles. However, here we see that our boy Shoot, in the moment that he had the perfect chance to ambush both of them because Gon and Killua had trained and were quite tired, Shoot suddenly began to get anxious, hesitant and lacked the real courage to go and fight two kids because he frankly underestimated himself and avoided taking action because pure and simple he was scared. Here we also learn that Shoot is actually 28 years old, and I think he is the same age as Hisoka if I'm not mistaken. Later on, after Knuckle keeps helping Gon and Killua to train, Shoot reprimands Knuckle for being soft, and while he is anxious, he promises to fight Killua one-on-one in the next day. Shoot came face to face with Killua and he stated that he doesn't like to hurt people, and this is why Shoot's ability activates only when damage is inflicted to a person he doesn't mind hurting, of course. And in this moment, Shoot already had a ton of respect for Gon and Killua, so he decided to fight Killua only because out of respect. Shoot is actually a manipulator, and I gotta say, man, I absolutely love Shoot's ability. I mean, 3 floating hands covered with aura, conjured, that attack the opponent. That is pretty damn cool. And these 3 conjured hands have a decent amount of aura into them. You can say that Shoot is pretty skilled at using Shu as well, and it's pretty versatile ability that can be used in various situations to confuse the enemy. And Hotel Rafflesia is such a cool concept that even made Killua curious and quite careful and aware of it. Killua realized that he couldn't make the mistake of letting the floating hands touching him in any case, but at this point Illumi's needle was still active. Shoot was definitely way above Killua's level, but he was impressed on how well Killua was using those yo-yos against his floating hands. Shoot is definitely a very fast character, as noted by Killua when Shoot suddenly closed the distance and managed to hit Killua, but Killua suddenly froze and Shoot was able to realize that his reaction speed was quite slow. Killua does state, even after all that training with Knuckle, that Shoot is actually quite strong and fast, and Killua admits that he is way above his level of strength. I have to point out that Killua, although being under Illumi's spell, did quite well. However, Shoot wasn't actually trying in any way, shape or form. He was just fighting normally. When Killua decided to go all out and not run but fight and charged at Shoot despite being under the needle's effect, Shoot immediately realized that Killua was going to do the electric attack, so he jumped back, which broke Killua's will to fight, and the fight ended right there because Killua was like, how did the enemy know that he was gonna do a electric shock attack? I gotta say, Hotel Rafflesia is truly next level. How does Togashi even think of these awesome concepts for abilities? This shows that truly anything can happen in an end battle, just like Morel stated. Shoot and Killua didn't know anything about each other's abilities, and Killua was managing with his yo-yos, but Shoot managed to steal his eye and trap it into his Hotel Rafflesia. The only way Killua managed to avoid a strong attack from Shoot was just because the spell told him to run should he get hurt in an unusual way. Hunter x Hunter fights are truly so well thought. There are not many fights in this series, but those that occur are without a doubt very interesting, and the abilities fit each character's personality, and Shoot is quite an unusual character considering he is a hunter and he created his ability which fits his whole persona. He doesn't like to hurt people. At the palace invasion, Shoot truly evolved in ways that he had never experienced before. We have to realize that Shoot lacked determination, was hesitant, underestimated himself, and he was anxious in actually taking action. Gon's determination made him truly tear up. He had never seen such will and courage to fight the enemy. We know Yuppie was a whole Nen anomaly. His aura was so crazy with such high amounts that even Knuckle couldn't estimate it. When Yuppie destroyed the whole staircase with a powerful attack and Pito's end for a second distracted the whole squad of hunters, Shoot was badly hurt in his left leg. Shoot was caught in the blast. However, Morel trusted in him to finish his task and deal with Yuppie. Shoot, like a true warrior, stood up to an evil monster like Yuppie, standing floating on top of his conjured Nen hand using his healthy leg, and we see this narration that it says that now Shoot was convinced that this would be his signature move. At this point, Shoot's whole persona had changed. He had the will now and determination to fight. He didn't even realize why he covered his right eye, but he did that as a symbol. Truly badass, I tell you. Shoot was fighting and avoiding Yuppie's attacks like a true hunter, a beast hunter fighting a whole beast. He was focused in fighting just so the team could go on and finish their respective roles. Shoot was so strong and ferocious in his attacks that he for a moment made Yuppie switch to defensive mode. A truly remarkable character. Even though just a side character, he fought to the end, managing to steal even one of Yuppie's eyes into Hotel Rafflesia. He did get gravely injured, but his fight was next level, even though it didn't last very long. Shoot is a tough warrior. He is a true hunter, going against beasts on a whole different level than him just to help the team push on. This fighter like Shoot teaches us to never give up and have self-courage and determination. He did get ignored by Yuppie later on when he was laying down all damaged, as Yuppie looked at him like he was trash, and this made Shoot very upset. He began to cry and ask Knuckle to avenge him, but Shoot did get avenged later by his closest friend Knuckle. Remarkable hunter, great character, such speed, balance and tremendous reaction speed to evade Yuppie's endless attacks. A truly unique Nen ability like Hotel Rafflesia with 3 floating Nen hands, and Shoot in reality is quite above a normal Nen user. I would consider him on a level of Phantom Troop members. His ability is so versatile. He can conjure 3 Nen hands which he can manipulate. He coats them with aura and he can use them as projectiles. You already know that this ability is very versatile because it has enough power to hurt anybody and they can be used in many different ways. These hands have such speed and power that they were even going against Yuppie's tentacles. Hotel Rafflesia is truly next level because he can basically get any body part and trap it in there, and he did trap all of Kite in there. So, and basically in combat distract most enemies, because when you get a body part stolen, that would make you like worried, because even Killua was like, what happened? But truly a great character. I want to thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video.